Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm in a different spot in the house yet again. They're doing some gardening around our perimeter, whatever. And this seems like the quietest room in the house, so sorry, it's kind of awkward that I'm like sitting on a bed right now, but yeah, this is our guest room. So I want to apologize, it took me so long to get this video up. Last week I was TDY, and the weekend before that I had a friend visiting from boot camp. And that Friday, I filmed a video, and I figured I could edit and put it up on Monday while I was on TDY, and it was really bad. Oh my god, I can't do this with you home. I'm trying. Ay. Okay, so, hi. Please go upstairs. So yeah, here I am again trying to film this stinking video about tech school. But I'm just going to keep it short and sweet, straight to the point. If I seem a little bit off today, we actually just got some big news in the Golnick household. My husband got orders overseas, but I did not. So it's kind of hectic and it's just a waiting game. I might get them, I might not. That's the military. One of the many benefits of being military to military. And yeah, so if I seem a little bit off, that is why it's kind of a hard pill to swallow. But I'm keeping hope alive. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys what's going on, and I will keep you updated. And if any of you want a video on how that works, I can totally do that too. So yeah, let's just jump into the video and yeah. Okay, so tech school. There's not too much to it, so I don't think this is going to be super long, but it's basically like college. I mean, I never went to a 4-year college, so I don't know for sure, but I can pretty much imagine. It's like college with a lot of rules. So I'm going to start from day one. So you graduate boot camp and you're going to go wait in the day room, or sleep in the day room is what we did. And we waited for our name to be called or our group to be called. Just if you had a flight at 3 in the morning, your group was called to go to wherever your tech school was. My tech school was in Lackland. I'm material management, like I said before. Material management, boom operators, load masters, security forces, some special forces. They're all at Lackland, so you're going to go from like right here to like right here from boot camp to tech school. But it's still exciting. So you're going to get your group called and you're going to go down. My group was called at probably 5 a.m. It was just me and the other girls that are security forces. We took that bus to the schoolhouse. I think it's called the 448th, 443rd, 44 something. And it's pretty much across the street from my squadron from boot camp. I was the 320th, Can't Stop the Rock. And you unloaded off the bus and there was this mean nasty girl and she was yelling, "Get off the bus!" And I was just like, oh, not this again. But it wasn't like that. Once you went into the schoolhouse, which is just this big room with a lot of chairs, they yelled and told you to get your school books and to get your little airman's manual thing, which everything's given to you. Don't worry, you don't have to bring anything for tech school. And you just sit down and the shirt is going to talk to you about what tech school is like. I personally fell asleep, so don't do that because it was not a good first impression. They kind of yelled at me to stand up in the back, which I should have done on my own. So lesson number 1, don't fall asleep because you'll make a bad impression. After that, we went and we were shown our dorms. I had a roommate, Blakeney, I think is how you say it. Hey girl, she's in California now. She's material management as well. So we went to our rooms and we kind of unpacked a little bit and then we were free. It was bizarre. It was your first moment of freedom in 9.5 weeks and it kind of was just like, now what? You have your phones. By the way, you get your phones. When you get off the bus to basic training, you're given your phones. Not to basic training, from basic training, you are given them. So I remember on my bus ride from basic to tech school, I texted my recruiter and I told him I did it. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, so you went into your dorm room, and then me and a bunch of other people took the bus to the BX, and we got sheets, blankets, snacks, just stuff for our room. You're free. Again, I say you're free. It's really weird. You don't have a TI, an MTL, and nothing. You got nothing with, no one with you telling you what to do. It's super weird. But you do have a curfew, so you have to be back in a certain amount of time. So yeah, that's the first night. You just go to the BX, get some stuff, snacks, sheets, whatever you want. And yeah, so then you go back to your room, and I think that was like a Saturday morning, Saturday or Sunday. But let's fast forward to Monday, so the first day. So you're going to wake up, and you're going to go downstairs. It's probably like 5 a.m. in PT gear, and you're going to PT. Now, it's hard because you're working out, you know, but it's so much more chill than boot camp. No one's really yelling at you as long as you're working out. If you're super sick, you can say you're sick, and you can just sit and watch. Like, I never did that because I was too scared, but it's a lot more chillaxed. So you do PT for an hour, and then you can run over to the DFAC and grab some breakfast to go. Or you can sit and eat it. I would personally always grab it to go, because then I would run to my dorm room and try and beat my roommate or my other person who's like connected to my bathroom. We all 4 of us shared a bathroom. Well, there was only 3 of us, but there could have been 4. It could have been 6 because we have bunk beds. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm sorry. So I would run up and try to get to the shower before anybody else. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. If it didn't, I would just sit down and eat my breakfast. And so you would shower, get ready. You have, I think, an hour, which is a lot. You're not going to know what to do with yourself. You can wear makeup, do whatever. And then you go downstairs and you form up, and you're going to march over to the actual schoolhouse. And it's pretty much across the street for us. It was across the street, and I'm sorry, I keep looking on the distance because I keep trying to remember. I have a really bad memory, and I'm like, okay, I should have wrote this stuff down. Okay, so you're going to march across the street to the actual schoolhouse and then disperse to your classrooms. Now, the only big rule we had in tech school during school was to stay to the right side. So if you're walking this way, you're on that side. You're walking this way, you're on that side. And then if an NCO or anybody walked past you, you had to stand at parade rest until they said move along or whatever. It wasn't a big deal. But you can have snacks. There was like Taco Tuesday. It was fine. And then the classroom environment, for me, it was just all with computers. And our teacher was a civilian, Mr. Brown. He's still teaching there. He's really cool. And you're just learning your job. I worked in a mock warehouse. I did ESS, which none of you guys know what that is. Again, I don't think I mentioned this. This is all from the perspective of material management tech school, but from what I gather, it's all pretty similar, just the job aspects are different. So yeah, every week we had a quiz, and if you failed the quiz, you could get washed back and have to spend another week at tech school, or you could beg and plead and not get washed back. I failed my first quiz. I am not very book smart. I have a lot of street smarts for the most part, but book smart I have to try really, really, really hard. I'm not one of those people that can just wing it. I have to study very hard, which sucks. But yeah, so I failed my first test, and I had to meet with this lady with a lot of stripes, and I remember I walked in and I was smiling, and she was like, why are you smiling? This isn't funny. This isn't a laughing matter. And I was kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm just a happy person. I'm sorry. But whatever. They let me retake the test, and I got 100%. Or no, I think I got like a 98%. Whatever. I passed, and I didn't get washed back. And ever since then, I studied very hard. So don't mess around. I know this one girl who messed around a lot. She bought a brand new Jeep, and she got washed back, and then she got washed back, and then she got washed back, and then she got kicked out. So don't mess around in tech school. It is fun, and it is a more laid back experience, but it's not a joke. You need to do this stuff. You need to pass your test. This is going to be your job, your career. Okay, now that I'm done with that little preaching thing. Some other things I want to talk about is the food there. You're just eating at the DFAC, but it's nothing like basic. It's just like a big cafeteria, and you go and you get your food, and you sit down, you chill with your friends. You get a lunch break during class. You get to go during dinner, during certain hours. Breakfast, as I said, you can grab and go. Very cool. Cars, for my tech school, you could have your cars, and I know security forces, you can have your cars. A lot of places you can bring your car. If you have someone drive it there, or you happen to live where your tech school is located, go for it, but be prepared. Everyone's gonna want rides because pretty much no one has their car in tech school. So as long as you're willing to drive people around, go for it. Let's see what else. Okay, the last major thing that comes to mind when I think of tech school is the phases. I don't remember what they're called exactly, but it was like ATP, ITP, PPP, I don't know. But basically, you have certain phases in tech school. So you're going to get there, and you're going to have a curfew. You can't wear civilian clothes, and you cannot go off base, and that's phase 1. Phase 2, after a few weeks, is you can wear civilian clothes, but you can't go off base, and you still have a curfew. And phase 3 is civilian clothes, you can go off base, and I think your curfew is quite a bit later. You can also get a weekend pass to go stay off base all weekend, but you have to have a valid excuse, not just I want to go party. Your parents have to be coming to town, family members, whatever. Just some kind of valid excuse. So yeah, so you have those 3 phases. It was really funny because right when we got into phase 3, there was a lockdown. They banged on our doors at like 3 in the morning, and they found a bunch of alcohol in people's dorm rooms, and we didn't get to go off base. So that sucked. But the next week it was over. So yeah, the 3 phases. You can bring your car. You can wear makeup. It's all pretty cut and dry. I mean, it's just going to school, learning your job, take it seriously. This is your career. It's not just school for a grade. This is what you're going to be doing every day. You don't want to show up at your next space and be like, what is that? Yeah, and after you finish tech school and you go to your duty station, you're going to have to do what's called CDCs, which is more tests on your job, and it's going to help a lot if you paid attention in tech school, and it's going to help a lot if you kept your notes. It's not that big of a deal, but just for future reference, just pay attention. I know I keep saying it, but I didn't, and I got to my first duty station, and I was just kind of like, what is all this? I'm at Scott, and it's a lot different than all other supply bases, but I can get into that another video. So yeah, the last thing I have is graduation. If you signed a 6-year contract and you went in as an Airman Basic, the day you graduate, you sew on A1C. Whoop, whoop. Literally, you graduate and you go back to your dorm room and you change your uniform into your 2 stripes. It's an awesome moment. So, but it's a pretty simple thing, graduating for material management. You pass all your tests, you pass the whole career field, whatever, and you go into a little auditorium. There's a little ceremony, your parents can come, whatever. It's not that huge of a deal. And you go up to the stage, they hand you your certificate, and you go down. They'll say where you're going, but that's about it. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, something I didn't even touch on. Orders, where you're gonna go. For pretty much everywhere, you're gonna find out where your first duty station is about 2 weeks in. They'll tell you to go and check, and you'll check your MPF, and it'll say where you're going. For me, it was a very underwhelming experience. I put like Japan and Mildenhall and Germany and all these great places on my dream sheet, and I got Illinois. The only stateside base I put was California, and my roommate got that, so that was fun. I'm from California, so that hurt. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. After you graduate, you can do what's called RAP, Recruiter's Assistance Program, but you just have to work that out with your recruiter. And literally, like the day after you graduate, you can fly home and you can be your recruiter's assistant for 2 weeks, and it is 2 weeks of free leave, as in you don't have to use your leave. You can bank that leave and you can just chill at home and be your recruiter's assistant for 2 weeks. Mine had me working every single day. Others had to show up twice, so it all depends on your recruiter, but that's a really cool program. You can actually do it once a year until you make tech sergeant, I think. You might be able to keep doing it, but people just don't, because that would be kind of awkward. But highly suggest doing it. It's free leave. You get to go home, get to be like, hey, everyone, look, I made it. It's really fun. So definitely talk with your recruiter about recruiter's assistance rep, as it's called, if that's something you're interested in doing, which why wouldn't you be? And yeah, okay, that's all I got. If you have any questions or comments or anything you'd like me to do, leave it down below. I get all your comments and it takes me a little while, but I try to reply to all of them unless somebody replies for me. And yeah, all right, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great day. Bye.